Practice today, Debo, same thing, shoulder won't practice. Trent Williams, ankle won't practice. Greenlaw's having a vet day. And then Brock Purdy, new one for you guys, he's in the protocol. So, go ahead.
When did that happen with Brock?
In the game.
You don't know what, like at what point?
Oh, he started getting symptoms on the plane. So I found that out when we landed. We were all pretty asleep, but then he got all checked up today or yesterday, and now he's in the protocol.
Does he have enough time to clear protocol in order to be available for the game on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, he does have enough time. He's got to go through the process.
When you watch the film, where do you think he hurt it? Was it on the quarterback sneaks, maybe?
Possibly. We don't know for sure because he didn't start getting until the plane, so I don't know exactly, but I'd probably guess that.
Can you tell at all, I guess, when you're coaching on the sidelines, relaying and all whether you kind of sense anything like that? I know that you have an independent neurologist who's supposed to be looking for that, but as a coach, do you?
No, because I don't get to talk to him when I'm calling plays in, but he on the sidelines, a couple of those series, nothing with Grease hearing it, and I know after the game he talked to you guys and Corey, so it's kind of a surprise when I woke up on the plane.
Is there anything on film you saw that would suggest he wasn't himself in retrospect?
Not really.
On the broadcast, Troy Aikman said that Brock told him that his arm isn't 100% yet. Is that a conversation you've had with Brock? Has he told you that?
No.
Fred said the other night that he'd like to see the mental toughness of the team go up. Is that something you feel like's been lacking the last couple of games?
I don't know. I think I wouldn't say mental toughness. I just go by what I see in the game, and I think we've been in the reality of the NFL the last 2 weeks, where the reality of the NFL is every game is usually decided. Most of the games are decided by one score, and we've been in 2 of those in our last 2 games, and we've had the ball within one score at the end and haven't gotten it done. And I think when you look before that, I think out of our previous 15 games, I think there was only 3 games that weren't double-digit wins. So I think we're getting more into the reality of the league, and we've lost both of those games. And when it comes to one score, you look at the top team in the league and the bottom team in the league, and usually those guys are in a lot of one-score games. It's who comes out with more wins, and we're 0-2 in those right now.
Obviously, Sam's going to be taking the reps here until Brock comes back. Does your thinking as far as game planning change at all? And if Sam were to play, and just what's your level of confidence as far as what you've seen from Sam since the beginning of training camp to this point?
I have as much confidence in Sam as I could have with someone that I haven't gotten into a real NFL game with. He was great in the offseason. He's been great here in these 7 weeks so far, and he's always ready to go. He's great in the meetings and stuff. He doesn't get many reps, as no backups do, but he does it well in the scout teams, always good in the meetings. And, we got mainly walkthrough today, so Brock's allowed to do some of the walkthrough. We got a couple of periods that aren't, so Sam will get those periods.
Brock is allowed to at least get on the field.
For walkthrough, yeah. Yeah.
Is there a day you'd have to clear by from your perspective for him to start?
Yeah, whatever. Nothing's my perspective.
Well, but if he's not clear by Friday, would you say he hasn't practiced? So, do you do that? Or?
No, Brock didn't take a practice rep versus Seattle on Thursday Night Football till pregame warm-ups, and they had to shut those down a little bit too. So he didn't really get a real rep that week till play 1, and he played pretty good. So we'll probably stick with that.
Is he feeling better today than he was yesterday?
Yes. Yeah.
Where's Trent in recovery? And did you factor in the playing on the surface last week?
Yes. The surface and the quick turnaround. I think if it was I think Trent could have been out there. We don't know if he would have made it through it, and he wouldn't have been out there close to 100%. And he probably wouldn't have made it through it, and that would have meant he has no chances this week, so hopefully he has a better chance to get there this week.
Is there a chance he could practice tomorrow even?
Yeah, there's a chance. Hopefully he'll be out there.
Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be able to full go practice.
Yeah, he's full go. He got out fine. He's good.
And then, I guess, how would you describe his knack to score? And he's got this nice streak going on. And I guess the other question was on the second touchdown, the 35-yard catch and run. Did you figure out it would work out exactly that way? If those 2 blocks were sealed, he only had one guy to beat and Levy?
Yeah, that's how it is when they zero, and they zero a lot. So they're pretty good at that play. I mean, they see it a lot because they do so much zero. And I don't think they've given up a house call on it yet. And usually they tackle for about a 7-yard gain. And our guys just blocked really well. It allowed them to stretch it, which made the guy in man coverage have to run a little bit farther. And he was able to rip through that arm tackle. So it was a hell of a play by all three of them.
And then just in terms of his knack for scoring.
It's real good coaching. He's unbelievable at it. I mean, I think he's done it since I heard about it growing up in Denver to college to whatever team he's on. He knows how to get in the end zone.
You said after the game about your own zero blitz at the end of the first half that it was something you discussed during the week. What have those conversations been like with Steve Wilkes, and kind of where's your understanding about what you guys were trying to accomplish with that?
Yeah, I think he knows. You guys, I think, talk to him tomorrow. He knows he messed up on that call. I have no problem with zero blitzes, especially when people need a lot of yards. If you need to get 20 yards to kick a field goal, I have no problem with the zero blitz. But I do when there's 16 seconds left, and that's where he lost track. There was no necessary need for that just because of the time. I have no problem with the call. But I have no problem with that play call, but when it's that time, you can't do that. It's not an option.
Peyton Manning said that Kirk Cousins told him before the game that on plays when Bosa was out, he would automatically check to a route where he knew he would have more time. Do you think that's pretty standard around the league against pass rushers? Do you guys do that too?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody does, I think.
Speaking of Bosa, he has 2.5 sacks in 7 games. It's not like he's invisible. He's been disruptive, but people look at it and he didn't have sacks last year. Do you notice any difference with him? Can you explain kind of his dip?
No, I think, when you ask it that way, difference, I look at how people move and whether they look in shape or as talented as the year before, and he looks the exact same. I don't see anything different. I know the results haven't been there. He's got a couple opportunities missed. He's got a couple opportunities that should have been an easy sack on, and we left number 1 open too fast where he shouldn't have been. So I just feel like the way it's panned out between rush and coverage and just all 11 together, they haven't been tied together to me when they have done it. When Bosa beats someone, there's got to be nowhere to go with the ball, and they've been able to do that, whether it's a miss or whatever it is. And when we've had people covered, I don't feel like we've always had that rush. So I think it's there throughout a game, but just not at the right times.
What was your evaluation of Jalen Moore, and also do you like what you're getting out of your interior offensive line as far as run push?
We didn't run the ball that well in that game, but you usually don't when they have 6 on the line. You got to do some stuff in the pass game to kind of soften them up a little bit. It's going to be pretty hit or miss. I didn't think we got a lot of plays, which if you don't break a long one and you're going against that stuff, it's not going to be good yards per carry. So I didn't see anything that our O-line hurt in that aspect. And as far as Jalen Moore, he played good enough for us to win. our O-line wasn't a big part of the problem.
How do you balance the value of a timeout early in the second half to avoid the delay game like you guys did, or saving it for time where you may or may not need it late in the game? What's the balance of that?
If it's 1st and 10, I probably wouldn't have done it. 2nd and 13, I don't want to go to 2nd and 18. So I did it there to try not to get that. Obviously, at the end, you wish you had it, but there's, I think, a lot more times than not, we finish a half in a game still having timeouts than having none. So I don't sit there and just take penalties trying to save them. I usually use them, but I want to say that's 100%.
Last 2 years, you had struggles at the beginning of the year, and then sort of hit your stride, and then you went steadily up. It's just a little bit of a different dynamic where you started out so well. Is that different in the way you approach it? How is that approached in terms of the coaching's aspect?
There's no different approach. I just think that's the reality of what's happened this year. These last 2 years, we've had our backs against the wall in this time, and I feel like that's really hardened us, and we've responded the right way, and into the year fairly good. To where we finished up this year. We really didn't want to be in that situation this year, and I thought we succeeded in that. We came out, made sure we didn't get in that situation, and we started 5-0. And then I think these last 2 weeks, I think like I said earlier in this, the reality of the NFL kind of has hit us that, guys, this isn't just going to be you go out there and beat everyone by 2 scores like those first 5 games went. You're not always going to play perfect. You're never going to play perfect, and the team against you is going to play good sometimes. And usually that's going to come down to 1 score, and both of these have. And we had every chance to win both of those games, and we didn't get it done. And when it comes down to 1 score, you can always pin out 3 to 4 plays, and that's kind of what we're focusing on in these 2 games. And that is usually the reality of the NFL. That's been the reality of us as a team. Just hasn't been that way since week 7 of last year until now.
What's your assessment?
Go ahead.
Thank you. What's your assessment?
Last
of
one.
The DN spot opposite Bosa. The trade deadline's coming up. There are some prominent names out there. Are you guys still interested in possibly adding somebody?
We're always interested anywhere that we think will help our team without hurting it, especially for the future. So that's something we're always looking into. But I think it's helped adding Randy. I think he's done some good things. I think I think Clee made a couple good plays in the game. But we want to do better all around. But it's not like we're just targeting that position or anything.
Super, last one. Brock took the full blame for that first interception after the game, as opposed to the route being broken off. I have no idea what happened. Having seen the film, is that accurate?
Yeah, he just threw it too inside to the middle third player and need to be more inside the numbers.
Step to the outside, part of that route.
Part of the route, yeah.
Did they just walk through?
Yes.
Just the guys rested
Yep.
on a short week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Mhm.